Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How everybody doing out there? Hope y'all enjoying y'all back to work Monday. You know how hard that is. Today we're gonna do what you call dinner and a movie. It's gonna be my first dinner in a movie. And the movie I'm gonna speak to y'all about today is Candyman. Scary movie. Show y'all some of the psychology behind that movie. Interesting movie. I first went and saw it, if my memory serves me correct, it was Christmas Day, the year it came out. I think it came out like in the fall, and we went to the Dollar Movie and saw it. So that's why I said it must have came out in the fall, because the Dollar Movie we usually get it about 3-4 months after, about 3 or 4 months after the movie came out, or the debut or whatever. But yeah, man, I liked the movie. Scared the shit out of me though. I ain't gonna lie. I was a young nigga. I was scared to go in that restroom for about a good 2 or 3 weeks. And shit, but and I ain't really the type to even you know, scary movies. I never really, like I was telling a nigga the other day, shit, Freddy Krueger, hell, in my dreams, I had 2 dreams where I got actually saved by Freddy Krueger and shit. One, I was gonna get hit by a truck, and he jumped out there, he pushed me out the way, and he ended up getting hit by the truck. And then there was another one when I was like in this diner. It was like one of those old school style diners, you know, where they brought you, you know, Sonic type of shit. You know, they bring your shit on skates and shit, you know what I'm saying? A&W type shit. And you know, some motherfuckers finna jump me or some shit in the little diner. This nigga came out of nowhere and just started fucking niggas up. Word. So I said that to say I've never been the type to really just be scared by scary movies. So the ones that really did give me, I mean, the motherfuckers was impactful, you know what I'm saying, to say the least. But I got over it and shit. Candyman, good ass movie, man. It's scary as fuck though. I think one of the scariest things about it to me, first and foremost, was if I'm not mistaken, well, that was my first time. Cause I know you had Blackula and all that. I don't even know if that would be considered horror. Well, it would, but I think that was my first time actually ever seeing a black quote unquote monster, so to speak. And speaking of monsters, let's talk about that real quick. First and foremost, what you have to understand about horror. Horror is, first and foremost, the word horror comes from the word horror. Horror is one of the many forms of Heru. It's the elder Horus. You know what I'm saying? The older Horus. As you know, if you've been following me or following anybody else who speaks on comedic science, you know Heru is the hero. This is where the word hero comes from. Heru, he's the savior, the original savior. You know, like I always say, he comes back to avenge the death of his father. That's where that's the original Christ figure. So horror, the elder Horus. That's what I manifest. That's the energy that I bring to the universe, or bring to the planet, as a savior figure, for self first and foremost, but to be the example for the rest of y'all who so desires to partake of the information that I dispense or whatnot. So, but as we all know, only you can save yourself, though, at the end of the day, through You know what I'm saying? You already know the business. Horror. Now, one would say, well, how did this word horror, how did this word horror? Damn, I wanted to break that word down too, because the har refers to the hey root, and the I want to say means water. I don't want to lie. I do it in another one though. I just saw the word the other day. The breakdown, one of these books, but yeah. So one would have to ask is themselves, well, how does this word hero, or this word that alludes to the hero, how did it become associated with horror? Horror being associated with fear. Well, you have to look at who's behind Hollywood. Hey Rue symbolizes the awakening for all you woke niggas out there, your wokers. Hey Rue symbolizes the black race in America right now. And I say America, black people period, but I say in America in particular because we are the forerunners. You know, that's why even with the Kanye thing, you know what I'm saying? He had a point with what he was saying from my perspective on a grander scale. You know, I still haven't even watched the interview fully yet. I didn't even see when he said the shit about black people, slavery being a choice. But you have to understand this, even within the microcosm of what he's saying, he had a point, because that's just like I was watching The Crow the other day, which is another movie I'm gonna break down. Excellent movie. In The Crow, the nigga run up on the crow with the heat and shit. He flashed the bang on him, told the nigga, move or you're dead. This boy Brandon Lee said, well, I'm moving and I'm dead. Man, that was the best shit. I damn near cut the movie off after that. That's all I need to see right there. But yeah, man, message. Now, I ain't gonna break it down. I think y'all can associate that or make a connection between that and what Kanye said. Yeah, nigga said, well, I'm moving and I'm dead. Fuck it. Basically, with the nigga, to connect that back to the Kanye thing, when Kanye said it was a choice, it was. Let's not, now, just, motherfucker run up on you and say, look, pull some iron out and say, hey man, hand me your purse. You have a decision. He's giving you a decision. Which one do you want to do? Hand me the purse or possibly get shot in the fucking head? That's, you know, we'll say it's an ultimatum, I guess. You know what I'm saying? If we want to get all semantic-y about this shit, but excellent part of the movie. So, yeah, man, Kanye had a point with that. You know, but you know why but I can tell you why we went through that. So we made a decision before slavery, before we even went through that, before niggas was even going through slavery on a cosmic level, in the grand divine scheme of things, you have to ask yourself, because if I tell you that the black man created everything and the black man was God and the black man is God, this, that, and third, like I had a conversation with a nigga one day. You know, one of these cats that I brought it to the knowledge of self, or tried to, because I don't really necessarily consider him there yet, but he thinks he's there, but you know, that's whatever. But you know, he tried to challenge me on some shit. You know, I told him, I said, man, we put ourselves in slavery. I was like, that was a necessary evil. Now, for somebody that's calling himself God, his response was, namaste, as we would say, not namaste, because I didn't see the God in him through his response. And this ain't the bash the brother. We just, because I know you watching, but, you know, gotta hit you with the truth, brother. And so he's like, nah, man, I can't agree with that, you know. See, he chose to do what you're supposed to do at times at the wrong time. You don't always supposed to hang on to every word of what somebody's saying. Now, I will tell you this. If I tell you some shit, if I'm not sure, I will say I'm not sure. But if I tell you that shit matter of factly, I bet you're going to find a whole bunch of other shit that can bag up what I'm saying. You're going to find more shit that'll bag up what I'm saying than that will go against it. So, but you know, he chose that moment to try to stand on his own 2 feet, as I would say, about niggas, because you're supposed to do that at times. Sometimes you know, what's up though, but not just for the sake of doing it. I do it, you know, it might be somebody that I look up to as far as a teacher or whatever, and they'll say something, and I'm not looking to go against it, but if it don't resonate with me already, I'm gonna automatically say, hold on, well that ain't adding up according to my studies. But I'll still go and check my work and make sure I ain't the one tripping. I'm not gonna automatically just say, oh, that brother's lying, or that brother don't, just because it don't fit in the scheme of things of how I feel, excuse me. But so she's like, nah, man, my people went through this and went through that, and you can't make me believe that we did that to ourselves. So I said, okay, well, you God, right? He's like, yeah, I'm God, black man, I'm God. Yeah, okay, well, I said, well, God, listen here. If you God, and you so above the white man, and we above the white man as a race, how the fuck the white man put you in slavery if you God? And you sat there and looked stupid as niggas always do when I do them like that. You know, you gotta chastise a nigga, egotize a nigga. That ain't a real word, egotize. That's some shit I made up. That's chastising a nigga ego. So yeah. So he sat there, and I said, well, if we are the owners and makers of the universe, how did the white man do all this to us? If we created the white man, this is the Frankenstein thing. We created the white man, and the white man takes over. Say, my nigga, this is called build and destroy. All this shit that's going on is something that this is a play you're living. We are all on the world stage. We wrote this or planned everything that was supposed to happen to us a long time ago. We put ourselves through slavery to go through a refinement process. And I know that sounds crazy and it's hard to stomach. The physical world itself, before slavery, look, get a book called How the World Was Created Through Sacred Geometry. It speaks on geometry, and geometry is basically making the corresponding or making a connection between words and numbers, or letters and numbers. And in Hebrew, the word 1024 means a plantation. They gotta excuse me, I got a toothache, so I'm talking kind of funny. I'm trying not to hit my shit, you know what I'm saying? So if I come out a little extra, more lispier than usual, that's the problem. But yeah, so where was I at? Yeah, 1024. 1024. Now we're gonna focus on the 24. The 24 is a lockdown number. Numbers are lockdown. If you don't, you can use a number. We use numbers as markers, and that, we use them to, like time. You use time just to mark a certain part of the day, or where the sun is located at a particular part of the day, or the moon or whatnot. But at the end of the day, time is a lockdown mechanism. That's why I tell you, I live outside the circles of time. I pay mind to time, but I live outside the circles of time. That's what a real God does. Time is an illusion. So, so 1024 also refers to the planet Earth in geometry. And then you have 1025. 1025, we got the 25. That's 2 plus 5 is 7. 1025 is the a Christ number. I said when you become 1025, that's when you come outside the circles of time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you start to that's how I was telling you with the Sambo thing. Nigga try to challenge me like, oh nigga, you're not Sambo. It says Sambo will come between this time and this time. You was born at this time. It's like, nigga, that shit is just a reference point. You don't take that literally. The time given in that video was just a estimate, so to speak. But it's close to fucking enough. And and we don't know what the fuck time it is. Honestly, you don't know what, we say it's 2018 and everybody agree on that. But throughout history, when the Greeks and shit start to, the Roman Catholic Church took over and all that, the motherfuckers start fucking with the calendar. So this shit is off. It's close enough, though, because I can tell just by, for example, I'm a Virgo. Now I know we're living in a time where when I was born, that was the actual Virgo time because my Virgo qualities predominate me. Not because I read about the Virgo and then said that, but because I knew who I was as a Virgo, and then when I started reading about the Virgo shit, I said, okay, well yeah, that shit matches me up, it lines up. So yo, the Kanye thing, the 1024, the planet is your soul, your physical body is a plantation. Your soul, slavery was a mock or a mimic of what you go through as a human soul. Your human soul is a slave to your physical body until you wake up. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you wake up in the morning to go to work, your soul is like, fuck that, man. I want to go back to sleep. But you have to get up and serve your body by going and get the money that you need to get the things to serve your body. Food, clothing, and shelter. But slavery is when you are forced to do something you don't want to do, in my definition. So, at times, we have to do things we don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? But things that are needed to be done to sustain ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Just like when you at work, even though you're getting paid on the clock, and you at a job that you don't like, that's why they tell you to do what you like. Because if you at a job, and if this job is something you don't like, but you have to do it, you know, if you take a job, a crappy job that you don't really want, that's selling out. You're selling yourself out because in your soul, you don't want to do this job, but you need this job to get to the money. So what do? You sell yourself out. We've all done it, I'm assuming. We all do it. So when you take that job and you're on this job that you don't really want to do, you're selling the real part of you out because the real part of you doesn't want to be there. So that's a choice. And you know, even when he broke it down, he was saying, well, based on the commentary, because I haven't seen I haven't seen when he actually said it, but based on the commentary I've been seeing on social media, they say he said we could have been slaves or we could have fought and whatever happened. And let's just look at this shit hypothetically speaking. What if we fought war and never went through that? That would have been a choice too. The Haitians did it. They went through slavery, but they ended up getting out of slavery. How? Quite simple. They understood who they were. They understood that they were magical. White man is not magical. So what they do? They went into a form of warfare that the white man couldn't engage in, which is spiritual warfare. You niggas, your spiritual warfare fails you because they took your spirituality and gave you a false sense of spirituality. The God that they gave you does not exist. So when you call upon God through your Christian training or whatever spookism gods you believe in, it's hit or miss. Because in all actuality, you got that concept from them. We never had a concept of some one God in the sky. The one God we see is everything around us connected as one. There wasn't no, I'm going to pray to the sky and it's a man somewhere up there going to grant me my wish. It doesn't work like that. This shit is all about you, inside of you. So, yeah, it's a choice. The Haitian said, well, we'll deal with this shit another way. And so yeah, Kanye was not off the mark about that. So y'all hear things and y'all respond to the immediate emotion that it stirs up within you without actually sitting there and thinking, well, see, this is when you tap into the oneness, when you put yourself in a person's shoes who's seemingly having a different opinion than you or a different view than you. No one stops to say, well, let me see why he said that. Let me put myself in his shoes and think about how could this possibly be true. And you didn't even have to think deep with this one because he said slavery was a choice. Hell, 1 + 1 is 2. It was a choice. Either be a slave or face the consequences that come with not being a slave. Just like that. But, and that's what I say about people, man. We so quick to attack things that are seemingly different in whatever form, shape, or fashion. We don't actually sit there and think. We just want to bash people. That's a mob mentality. Not mob in the sense of mafia. I mean mob like just a group think, as Miss Erykah Badu once put it. Group think. You want to, you know, everybody wants to fit in. So it's a lot of people out there who may be on Instagram or Twitter bashing Kanye, but deep down inside they're agreeing with him. But they don't want to say that because they don't want to be considered outside the mob of people. You know what I'm saying? That's how the government always use the mob against you. You know what I'm saying? They can't deal with you one way, they'll turn the mob against you, which is just the common 85%ers, as we call them. The people who are slaves of mental death and power. They'll use them against you. So they'll start a smear campaign and put all this propaganda out and try to turn the people against you so that in the general scheme of things, you'll be perceived as an undesirable. His concepts and ideas, we don't fancy of that. That's the thing that they do with y'all. That's why it's so important to have your understand the oneness, but be able to be an individual and step outside the box and think for yourself. Don't think like everybody. You don't think you have to go along with what everybody else thinks, says, or believes. Even me at times. A lot of you motherfuckers don't believe in the shit I'm speaking anyway. So you got that right already, but you need to flip that. Just like the nigga said, when I come with this information that I build with motherfuckers that are not of the knowing, they challenge me. And my question to them is, why you didn't challenge the Bible? Why you didn't challenge your Christian training? I did it off the top with nobody telling me to leave me on or nothing. Like I said, when I was 8 years old, when I came into the understanding of our situation here in America, I asked myself, well, they telling me I came from Africa. I was brought over here from Africa. I know in Africa the language is different, meaning the writing was different. So if over here we're reading this book, which is the Bible, and they're telling us that this is our spirituality, and it's written in English, but I'm an African. Well, what was we reading our spirituality in before we came over here? Because this is English. I need to know what I was into. I was 8 years old when I had these thoughts. Nobody told me that. I wasn't listening to Malcolm X, none of that shit. It was just intuitive question. You know what I'm saying? An intuitive question. You know, that's why questions are important. Question things. Don't just go off of general hype. You gotta question shit sometimes, man. I'm not here to. Kanye West is a grown ass man. He can take up for himself. It's not a I'm taking up for Kanye thing. I'm taking up for free thinking here. But shout out to Kanye though for being able to stand up and not be intimidated by the mob. So anyway, man, since we had the slavery thing, I can go ahead and springboard off of that back into the original topic. So when you go back to the horror world, where it's like horror, all of your horror, it's like Brother Panic was speaking on in one of his videos. He was speaking about the Necronomicon. Now I don't have a deep study personally within the Necronomicon, but I understand Necronomicon, the Necronomicon thing in its relation to everything else I read. You know what I'm saying? All my other studies, but I've never read a book on Necronomicon in particular. But he was saying how before, I forgot the H.P. Lovecraft. He was saying how a lot of the movies or horror movies that we have now in America, like Alien and just a shit, man, a whole host of horror movies. He was saying how those horror movies are based off H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft wrote the Necronomicon book, but he made it. He left it to where he didn't necessarily. I guess he didn't copyright it or something because he wrote the book, but it was open for other authors to come in and use the information to create their own work. So you know you had all these Hollywood writers and stuff. They started writing their horror films based off the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon represents the black man and the black woman's soul, the characters and stuff. You know, so when you hear the word monsters, we automatically think something negative. Even when you look at the ghouls and the ugliness of monsters and stuff. The reason why monsters are depicted unpleasantly to the eye is because what that concept is trying to convey is the soul is so foreign from the physical world that it's foreign to this place. So when you see something like a what's a good one? So when you see something like just a gruesome looking monster, that represents the soul, because when you look at this gruesome monster, you're like, ugh, what is that? It's something you've never seen before. It's foreign to how human beings look, or physical people look. It's foreign to your eyes, so it comes off as appalling, or you know, it's not the most pleasant sight. That symbolizes the soul's foreignness to this place, this physical world. So that's the reason why monsters look the way they look. Jason, when he takes the mask off, his face is all distorted or whatnot. So what he was saying before the Necronomicon, the only horror movies you had was like Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and all that is based off mythology too. But the common theme with a lot of these movies, what it's based on is, from what I see psychologically speaking, is based off the fear, the white man's fear of us, the white man's fear of what's going on right now. Or I don't want to say the white, you can say the white man, but the people, the quote unquote world rulers, because they're the ones that's in the know, and educated white folks, you know what I'm saying? They the ones that study all this information, and they know that this was coming, you know, the Messiah era or whatnot and all that, you know, just to put it in, to give it a phrase. So when you look at these movies, they're based off of that fear. That's why it's always about something coming back after being wronged, whether it be Freddy Krueger, Jason. All these movies have a common theme. They're based on somebody that was killed and coming back to avenge their death. Jason was drowned and mocked Uh, by the kids at Crystal Lake, he came back kicking ass. Freddy Krueger was burnt in the house and shit, came back kicking ass. And all the way up to this Candyman thing. And the Candyman thing is interesting because the psychological ramifications of the movie is just crazy. I'm gonna show you. Now, first and foremost, Candyman is Osiris. The hook on his hand symbolizes the crook that is used by Osiris. Like I showed y'all in my book, Osiris is always pictured with the crook and the flail. The crook is the question mark and the cane or whatever. He has on a fur coat. The fur coat alludes to his humanness. The animal, your physical body, the physical part of you corresponds to the animal nature of you. So the fur coat alludes to that, the animal aspect of you, your physical humanness. But then when he opens the coat up, it's bees. You don't see no flesh or nothing. You just see the bones and the bees. The bees correspond to your melanin and correspond to your soul. The bee was always considered a symbol of the soul because the soul is so foreign, you can't trace the origin of the soul. The soul has always have been. It didn't come from nowhere. It's always been here. Knowledge is infinite. And the bee, they say, along with the banana, they say you can't, these are two things that they can't trace the origin back of. So the bee was considered, they said that the bees came to this planet as bees. They didn't evolve or shit like that or something like that. So they will always identify with the soul. So when he opens his jacket up and you see the bees, that symbolizes the soul. You know what I'm saying? The black and the yellow. You know what I'm saying? The light and the dark. The two parts, you got the masculine and the feminine. You know, the bee have is, black and yellow. That symbolizes the darkness and the light, yin and yang. So what else? Those are the main two things that stuck out about as far as the physical description of Candyman. Then he was black. Now the story with Candyman was the way he lost his hand. He was around in the days of slavery, a little bit after slavery, whatever, and he was going out with a white woman. Well, they caught him in a field. Because that was a big thing. You weren't supposed to fuck with white women back in the game. So what they did was they caught him in a field. The field alludes to the Elysian fields. The Elysian fields are a symbol of heaven in ancient in the ancient world. So he dies in the field. They catch him in the field. They rub honey all over his body. That alludes to the mummification because what they used to use to mummify the bodies with was like sticky stuff, golden tree sap and stuff like that, in order to make the bandages stick around the mummy. So they rubbed him down with honey, and then they chopped his hand off. And the honey attracted bees, and that's why when he came back, he had the bees all over him and whatnot. I'm gonna do a little bit more thinking on that part and get back with y'all, because this is some deep shit right there. I don't want to fuck it up by sitting there trying to ramble on with it, but I'm gonna come back to that part. So anyway, he dies that way. Then when he comes back, now the interesting part here is, now this is where you have to pay attention. This is where psychological programming comes in at. Because what you gotta understand about Candyman is what we're living right now. This is an excellent movie. Candyman was killed by white men, and I think this is why it was. I think this had an impact on me too, as far as why it was being so scary, because it was a black man in the ghetto killing niggas. So think about the psychological ramifications of this. He's killed by white men in the field for dating a white woman. But then when he comes back as a soul or spook or whatever you want to call it, and that's why they call us spooks too, the fear of us, coming back or whatever. So when he comes back, the interesting thing is you would think this nigga would come back killing white folks. But no, he comes back chasing a white woman, telling her to be his victim. It was a love affair from the way I saw it. He was in love with this white woman, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't come back, he didn't come back and terrorize the suburbs. This nigga came back and went to the notorious Cabrini Green. You know what I'm saying? Cabrini Green. And it's funny because I was doing a breakdown on this in my mind one day, and I got a homegirl, well, used to be homegirl, whatever, from Chicago, and I was sitting there thinking about the movie, how in the movie the white woman that he was chasing, her name was Helen. Now Helen, the word hell refers to the sun. This is hell we're living in. The Helios, you know what I'm saying? Helios is another word for sun. If we're living in a solar system, that means we're living in a Helios system. Simple as that. Because when you think of hell, you think of fire everywhere and a man with a pitchfork. No, you're in hell right now. You know what I'm saying? There's two sides to every story. We think of, hell is a mental condition as well. A negative, undesirable mental condition. So her name was Helen. And it was funny because I was thinking about this, and then I inboxed my homegirl to ask her some things about Cabrini Green. I brought up Cabrini Green right after I was breaking down the Helen thing in my mind. You got the hell on. You got hell on. Hell is the solar system. On is the dark waters of space, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So hell on. It's a combination of the solar system and star system Sirius. Because star system Sirius can be seen as synonymous with on, which means the dark heavens. So I was thinking about that, and then I inboxed her to ask some stuff about Cabrini Green because I heard some other stuff about the projects. And right after I was thinking about this Helen thing, I inboxed her, and the first thing came out of her mouth that she responded back, because I asked her something about Cabrini Green, and she said Cabrini Green was hell. It was funny. I said, damn, I was just see, that's spiritual. That's how you see things. That's how you see things with your third eye. I was just thinking to myself about the Helen thing and breaking down what she represented in the movie, and then I inboxed my homegirl to ask her about Cabrini Green. Because see, what I heard about the projects is that a lot of projects around America had trap doors where they used to come through these trap doors and kidnap families and wipe whole projects and shit out. You know what I'm saying? Kill these people and shit. And they would use what they would do. They would kidnap them and basically use the bodies for melanin. That's white people always have. And I'm not saying your average next door neighbor. I'm just talking about motherfuckers at the quote unquote top. They've been eating us for years. They have to intake due to their lack of melanin, they intake our melanin to preserve their life and live a little longer or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's this guy, man. I was looking what's this guy's name? Some guy named Finkelstein or some shit. I was on YouTube, and he was on some radio show talking about boldly stating how they take black babies. Him, because he was a quote unquote Jew, white Jew. He was like, they take babies, drain the blood. They say they don't eat the bodies. They crush them up and sell them to different fast food joints, so that the fast food places can mix them with the beef and shit or whatever. And then that's why you hear the phrase "America eats its babies." Yeah, Pac said it too. So they're kidnapping all these black people through the projects, through these trap doors. They come through the trap door. So when you look at Candyman was like, it didn't say he lived in the walls, but you had to go to the mirror and say his name. You know what I'm saying? And he would come. So the way I interpreted that was really they had Candyman, which is the Osirian figure. They had the movie to where he was killing all the people in the projects, but him killing people in the projects was based on the real boogeyman, which was the white man or the government, whatever the fuck you want to call it, coming from these goddamn trapdoors and killing these families. So that terror that you see these families having, or these people that live in Cabrini Green on the movie, actually was a representation of the terror that these people had of never knowing if somebody was gonna come through a fucking trapdoor and take their goddamn life. See how they twist this shit all together? And I say the shit worked because I never stayed in no goddamn projects. I stayed in apartments, but we know the difference between projects and apartments. Same thing to a certain degree, but a little different. You know, projects are high rises, they are, you know, they go up or whatever. So but the shit scared the shit out of me. And I think the part that scared me the most is that this nigga was killing black people. You know what I'm saying? I think that has some type of psychological impact on my mind. So we have to look at this shit. I'm looking, I'm like, well, what the fuck? This nigga's coming back after getting killed by white folks, but he only killing niggas. Same thing we went through. We went, the white man, quote unquote, within the microcosm of things. We're gonna bring it back to the microcosm. You know what I'm saying? We out of the macro. We're gonna come back to the micro, the small, the general perception of what we've been taught or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So we have the white race who's done all, you know, slaved us, beat us, raped us, programmed us with all these fucked up mentalities. And don't get it twisted, we was fucked up before the white man came in the door too. The white man is a reflection of how we were fucked up already before he even got here. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful with how hard you put you judge white people because they came from you. So everything, that's why now it ain't, you know, I remember back in the 90s and shit, when I was growing up, it was certain crimes that black people were like, a white person had to do that, black people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Killing people and eating people and shit, and you know, just that crazy shit. You know, it was always, every time you see some crazy shit on the news, it was always like a white person, Jeffrey Dahmer and shit. But now you got niggas doing, niggas is pretty much caught up to that. Now that niggas is doing crap. I done heard stories on the news of niggas barbecuing their girlfriend, killing their own babies and shit. That was like some taboo shit back in the game when it came to black people. But now niggas is they own that type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All type of wild shit niggas is doing that at one point in time we didn't consider, you wouldn't think that a black person would do. So you have to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I speak about when I say things that may not paint white people with the best of character, I don't say that just for the sake of bashing them. I say that for the sake of explaining the science of what we're going through and what we're living, so that we can put everything in its proper context and know how to navigate through this world without having to fucking everything being a goddamn argument, so we can understand why motherfuckers do what they do. And the motherfuckers that do crazy shit, instead of sitting there bashing them and saying you are a fucked up individual, knowing you finna go home behind closed doors and probably do some shit that the world would look at you crazy for, just like everybody else do. Instead of bashing a motherfucker, we can get down to some shit like, well, look here, brother. Why you like touching little kids? You like touching, that's fucked up. You know that, don't you? You know that, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? You know, but instead of sitting there bashing the motherfucker, the bashing plays part too. Because when you bash him, or when the general perception of that person becomes stigmatized, that has an impact on the motherfucker too. That makes the motherfucker say, oh, I'm fucking up. Now that don't, and sometimes that don't even work. Nigga be like, well, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Fuck what they think. You gotta be like that sometimes too. But we get stuck on bashing a motherfucker. We don't actually sit there and say, well, what they said about R. Kelly? Anybody ever sit down and talk to this guy and ask him what's going on up there? So maybe we can't change. And I'm not bashing R. Kelly. I don't know shit about nigga name up because I don't want y'all to make it about him. But just any nigga, because some of the shit was R. Kelly shit, you gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? That's just like right now, they talking about the man got a sex code. The nigga ain't doing nothing. He ain't having a fucking mansion with a bunch of women living like a quote-unquote polygamist. That ain't nothing different than what Hugh Hefner did. And they know that. So they can't just come out and say, oh, he's wrong because he's got a slew of women living with him. Because a nigga can do what I did and say, well, Hugh Hefner done it. So they have to get motherfuckers to come in and say, well, he had us held captive. You can't go off that. Nobody goes to get this man's side of the story and figure out what's going on with him. So when you start seeing motherfuckers popping up, especially when the money come into play, suing and all that shit, you have to wonder, is somebody paying these people to say this about this man? Because the way he's living, the polygamous lifestyle, or that ain't no different than what Kings did. That is something that is not, see, we are trained to view everything within our American training. But you have other places in the world where what he's doing is perfectly fine outside of holding up. Not saying the holding people against a will part is what they're trying to say he's fucked up about. And we don't even know if he's done that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think me personally, I don't think the nigga has to hold no. Even with the other situation, with the even with alleged, the original situation. In my mind, I'm like, nigga, you R. Kelly. You have any motherfucking damn any woman you want, many women crazy about you. Why take a chance of going to jail by dealing with a minor, allegedly? You know what I'm saying? I keep things within the context. But see, they're not attacking R. Kelly personally. He's a vessel. They're attacking our cultural lifestyle, one of our original ways of living. Because polygamy is something that we used to live. That was a way we used to live before we came to America. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly represents a sexual energy. Marvin Gaye represents a sexual energy. Sex and magic. Sex is magical. Sex is one of the most powerful tools on the planet. So, especially black sexuality. Our sex is magic. So you have this man making all this sexual baby making music. They got to shut that down. They're like, oh no, this guy's a Shiva figure. We have to shut his energy down. So what they do, attack his character through all this shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we can hit him with the Hugh Hef thing when they say, well, he has this lifestyle where he just has all these women living with him and blah, 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 blah. Well, Hugh Hef done it and it wasn't no fucking problem. But when R. Kelly does it, it's a sex cult. Why Hugh Hef shit wasn't called a sex cult? So when people start coming forth talking about they was held against their will, you have to ask yourself, are these people can't, because see, that's what the media do. The media crucifies niggas severely. Pop told you that. You know what I'm saying? And he was right. Because once you do something they don't like, that's when they start to fuck with your image. Have people come in lying on you and speak of you on TV as if you're not desirable. So that if everybody's programmed through TV. So if you got all these media stations talking about you like you a dirtbag, that programs the world to believe you're a dirtbag. I gotta go along with what the TV say because they said it, so he's a dirtbag, and this is how they fuck your image up. You know what I'm saying? I be checking out R. Kelly on the gram, man. This shit is ridiculous. I see Instagram models with way more motherfucking likes and friends than this nigga. And this nigga was a fucking 90s icon. Fucking 90s nigga was an icon. But then you go to this nigga page, this nigga got 15,000 likes and shit. I'm like, this shit does not add up. It ain't about likes and clicks and all that shit. That shit is fly by night. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, this is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? This man is a fucking icon. Imagine if Michael Jackson had an Instagram page and this nigga only had 20 likes per picture. Nigga be like, what the fuck? Now I can't just sit in. R. Kelly gotta speak for itself. I'm like I said, man, I'm not gonna sit here and just take up for motherfuckers because I don't know the whole story, good or bad. But I'm just using this as an example. Man, how the fuck we even get on this shit? But yeah, man, the media, man. So you have to ask yourself when people start coming forth, are they telling the truth? Because the R. Kelly, like I said, That's no more than King Solomon and shit. I think had all the wives and shit. It's no different. But they have to throw in the, oh, he helped me against my will bullshit to spook it up and make motherfuckers look at you crazy. You know, you gotta watch these people, man. They play a slick game. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like with me, they try all the bullshit. I be seeing all that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, they try to shut down. Like I say, R. Kelly represents a sexual energy. Oh yeah, damn, Chicago must be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Because Cabini Green. Anyway, yeah, man. So that was crazy, man. I inboxed Shorty, and the first thing she said was Cabini Green was hell. I was like, wow. I was just thinking about that. So then Cabini Green is an Osirian color. Bingo. I don't know what Cabini mean. Cobb, Iron Cobb could be alluding to the pineal gland, because the pineal gland is often symbolized as a corn, as a grain of corn. Corn grows on the cob. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking at this movie, man, and I'm like, within my third eye now. When I first saw it, like I said, I wasn't privy to this information. So now when I look back at it in retrospect, I'm looking at it and breaking it down. So, you know, he represented the fear that resonated through Cabini Green and all these other projects where motherfuckers was getting snatched up. You know what I'm saying? Cause Brother Bobby Hemming always speaks on how you know, they was cleaning people out of projects and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they would tell the people, they wouldn't kill everybody, but then the motherfuckers that survived, they would have them believe that this was some type of relocation program. But people would never know, you know, people would never find their friends again. It's like, you know, everybody in the projects connected and shit. So they'd be like, oh, well, they moved them over here after they relocated them, but then people would never see them again. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you got a homeboy, I don't give a fuck if you do get relocated or whatever, got to move, you gonna still stay in touch with your people. If they say that, then you know, your people like, yeah, we finna move or whatever, then they get wiped out, you never see them again. You know, that's, you know, Bobby Hemming say he used to go do his lectures, and motherfuckers used to walk up to him and, man, I can't find my father, my sister, my friend's been missing since the move or since the relocation plan, whatever. So that fear was what that's what the whole Cabini Green thing was in my interpretation of the movie. So he's chasing this white woman and he's only killing black people. Now that's what niggas are doing right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like the white man slaved us, did all this evil shit to us, and then after slavery, when we are slowly but surely waking back up, the only thing we doing is fighting each other. You know, we killing each other. Just same thing Candyman did. Came back, he was only killing niggas. Now I think on the second one, he was killing white folks and shit. Farewell to the Flesh. The second one is called Candyman Farewell to the Flesh. Farewell to the Flesh. That phrase alludes to the whole concept of dying to the physical world. The flesh symbolizing the physical world. The soul is the real world. You know what I'm saying? This is spiritual versus materiality. It's a mentality. If your mentality is oriented towards the physical more than the spiritual, or if you don't have an understanding of spiritual information, then you are in hell mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that's what their religions program you to do. They program you to believe that God is something outside of you. So the only thing you can identify with is the physical world, which is outside of you. It keeps you from going within. You don't see churches telling you to meditate and all that. They tell you to pray. You know what I'm saying? And even praying. Excuse me. Hold on one second. Yeah, like I was saying, even praying, you're talking to nothing. That concept comes from us actually being able to quiet our minds and contact our ancestors who made the transition, who came before us, and actually get help from the spirit realm through our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? This is why you see me bigging up Aaliyah and Michael Jackson and shit. These guys actually help me out here. You know what I'm saying? They actually do. You know what I'm saying? It's not a game. It's not, I'm just sitting here jerking myself off. And, no, it really goes down. And they'll fuck one of you niggas up too. Leave that on a side note. You know what I'm saying? I seen it with my own eyes. I seen it. Shout out my nigga Bobby. That's my nigga, man. I seen it though. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. When you praying, man, it's just you hit or miss. When you make some shit happen, you pray about it, and it happened the next day or whatever, you just got lucky. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, hey, the cards fell in your hand that day or whatever. So, that's what they teach you within Christianity. That's why it's hit or miss. Don't sit there and tell me you done got everything you prayed for, because niggas been praying for years. And if all the praying niggas done did, we supposed to been about this motherfucking condition we in. We supposed to been living in the sweet by and by, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? The heaven on earth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, niggas been praying for all this time and still getting your ass kicked. So don't talk to me about no motherfucking praying. That's why I don't even understand niggas still. You got niggas that's conscious, supposed to be conscious, talking this black shit, and they still talking about pray to God. And man, nah. Get in tune with your motherfucking ancient spirituality. That's what you do. That praying shit ain't get you nowhere. I prayed I wouldn't go to jail for a crime I didn't commit, and that shit happened. And at that moment, once I got my time, I said, yeah, it's time to do away with that bullshit, because that ain't, the opposite happened. So that was one of the key factors of me saying, hey man, is this shit working? It's not, what kind of God is this? That's how I knew the concept of God I had been given by my parents in society was some bullshit. I'm like, how's God, this God that they talking about, a just God, and I got locked up for some bullshit? But even that was justice, because it was a part of the whole program for me to go down there and find out who I was as a black man, generally speaking, but then finding out I was the Christ figure prophesied to come. Not down there. The information I learned down there was the foundation. It really dawned on me when I came home and saw the meme I was telling y'all about in another video. So, and everything, any attack against me backfires. You know, so that's another message for you niggas too. You know what I'm saying? It always comes back to kick you in your ass, because I'm spiritually hooked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritually hooked up. My protection comes from a knowing of my spirituality. So you might do something and get a little kick out of it right then and there. Yeah, but your ass got it coming. You know what I'm saying? A spiritual ass whipping will be upon you. The hand of God will touch you, nigga. You can't, I don't give a damn if you in a cave in butt-fuck Iran. We'll get you. Believe that shit. But it's not about that right now. Candyman will get your ass though, nigga. You better know it. So, yeah, man. Yeah, he's killing these people, man. I'm like, you know, this shit ain't adding up, man. You know, he's chasing a white woman, just like who does that today? Athletes, all your big athletes and a lot of entertainers, they run and get the white woman, you know what I'm saying? Which people can date who they want to date, you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to not date white women, but see with that, the problem with that is when you have our iconic figures, or quote unquote iconic figures, or these people that they make icons, and they do be icons because they choose these people based off spirituality. So they might, you don't know who you are, but they'll know. They'll read you or get you read and be like, oh, he has a Anubis energy. Sign him up. And then the positions they put you in, whether it be a movie role, a video treatment, or a commercial, or whatever they do with you, they will do it in a manner that corresponds to what type of energy you resonate spiritually. So if you resonate Anubis energy, which is Anubis is the jackal. So they fuck around and use you in a dog food.